Yo, Froggystyles back here with Mediocre Trader.
What's up,
We're
brother?
going to go cover this video here in a second.
Yeah. I got something I want to say to the community too, but we'll wait till people get in.
Let me pull it up, make sure I got it here. We're going to be discussing this video right here. The Johnwicksnipin is convinced finally that AMC will not squeeze. So we're going to cover the video, figure out what the heck he's talking about. I haven't even got a chance to look into it, so I figure 13 minutes we'll fire it up, and then we'll just break it down. Let's find out.
Don't do that yet. Hold up. I want to say something. I was just waiting for some people to get in, and before we get rolling, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
You mind? I could just do it now, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So I misspoke earlier, and I want to correct for the record that I misspoke, and I realized I misspoke. I was reading stuff behind scenes, talking to other creators, and I just want to put out the truth and be transparent. So we were talking about puts, and we were talking to Eric on a space call. I'm not sure of his last name, but I apologize because I misspoke. And anyways, I want to give the proper terms. So we were talking about a put. Okay, so a put gives the owner the right to buy the right, not the obligation. So they're not obligated to sell a stock at a specific price by a certain time. Okay, so it gives them the put gives the owner the right, but not the obligation to sell a stock at a specific price by a certain time. My apologies. So if you sell a put, gives you the right to buy, I believe, at that price. Am I correct, Froggy?
I was listening. I was about to give you a slap for making a mistake.
Yeah, I misspoke again, dude. You know what I mean? I did it again. But anyways, so a put is right to sell a stock at a specific price. I want to make that clear. Right? I made a mistake, and that's what it is. As far as selling a put, you get the right to buy the stock at a specific price. I believe that's how it, or you can execute at a specific price if you sell a put, not if you buy it. If you buy it, it's the opposite. I just wanted to make that clear.
Now for misspeaking, this is what you get.
Well, yeah, right.
So
I'd rather be upfront with the community. So
where did Kim go?
I don't know. I wish he would come back here. He was there for a second. Is he having computer trouble?
Well, we will carry on, I guess.
I don't know what happened to him.
Well, let's change the screen here. I'll blow this one up, and let's play it and see what it says, and then we'll cover it here shortly.
AMC, Johnwicksnipin, another gorgeous day in sunny South Florida. Rich Ed, gonna squeeze tomorrow. Yeah. One of you motherfuckers is gonna get that we're gonna squeeze tomorrow shit right one day. Maybe. I mean, you do it 2 trillion times, hopefully one you'll get right. That tomorrow will squeeze. Or you can come to the realization that I've been talking about since I got on YouTube, that this is not going to squeeze, folks. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why. But before I do, I just want to make it perfectly clear, I am not selling my shares. So fucking dumbass bots don't come saying, oh, he's nice, he's against us. So why isn't Johnwicksnipin, why isn't AMC going to squeeze? Well, here we go. Number one, the market corruption that I've been telling you about for months is as strong and as obvious as anything. I mean, it's pretty simple that that's the number one reason. The number two reason is day traders. Why? Because the strategy is buy and hold, not buy and trade. That's the number two problem. Number three clearly is people that are still on payment for order flow platforms because your buy orders are being routed to the dark pool. That's number three. Number four. You ready for this one? And I know a lot of you know this, okay? Number four is the float of this stock is too large. It is too large, and I don't buy the notion that we own 500 and what, 7? What was that? What did I write down here? Hold on a second. So we own 517 million shares. All right, sure we do. Okay? Because if we did, the stock wouldn't move like this. How the fuck are even shares supposed to be sold if we own them all? So, like, you guys got to start asking yourselves these questions because they don't make sense at all. And for reason number 5 as to why AMC is not going to squeeze, and by the way, if the wind, I apologize if there's wind, hold on. See, real quick, my ducks know that AMC is not going to squeeze. They're like, yo, you guys been listening to fucking people in New York, these New York ducks? They don't fucking know shit. All right, so reason number 5 is the options chain. That's the one of the manipulative tools that they're using in order to keep this price, keep the stock where it's at. So, having said all that, I'm going to tell you exactly a stock that I've been studying. I am not invested in it. I do not own any shares. So please don't come.
Actually, we should cover all that right there. He had 5 really good points. Now I'm gonna back this up because it sounds like everybody took this out of context. So I'm hearing all this. He said it's not going to squeeze.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
He only said one thing that was pretty much inaccurate.
Which one?
When he said that he doesn't believe that we own 517 million shares.
Maybe you need more. I don't know.
No, he says we didn't own enough. We don't own that much is what he said. And Adam Aaron said that we own 90+%. I just want to make that clear. So if Adam Aaron was lying, I'm sure the SEC would be all over him because the SEC is not on our side. Just my opinion. But all the other information that he said is somewhat accurate. And he is a little emotional, and I'll just say that. So we'll go
right.
on. We'll give it back to you, Froggy.
Keep in mind, I'm not going to defend him. I'm just going to cover the data as it came out, and that's it. Exactly. So he had, from what I heard, that this was a complete like turd of a video and all kinds of like vulgar terms was applied to it. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm waiting for him to like go off the deep end and start running his mouth about something. That's not what he did here. So it sounds like it was taken out of context. He actually gave 5 different reasons why he thought that it wasn't going to be allowed to squeeze. And the one, market corruption. That is actually a valid reason.
Yep.
And he explains it. Day traders. Because the strategy is buying and hold, not buy and trade. I don't know if the day traders actually hurt anything or not, just because of the fact that it's a natural process in the market.
Yeah, I don't think they do. It's just so manipulated that we're trading the almost the float every day or something like that, right? And yeah. if we own the float of the stock, how are they trading it? Okay, so it's definitely manipulated. So I see where he's going with that, right? He's not wrong there. It's manipulated.
Well, then you look at it like, hold on, let me pull it back up here. Number 3, people are still on payment for order flow. That is a huge problem, and that definitely does hold things down. So he's right there. Let me see. Because your buy orders are being routed to the dark pools, which is 100% true. Number 4, float of the stock is too large, which really has nothing to do with it. Short position, 20% is 20%. So that don't matter at all. So, I mean, that's one thing I'd say is not true at all.
What was that? I missed it.
The float being too large for the squeeze.
No, I don't believe it's too large either. We got 20% short interest. So if it was too large to squeeze, they wouldn't be manipulating it now, would they? You know, that's just right. They're definitely manipulating the stock. We all know that. So if it was too large to squeeze, they wouldn't need to manipulate the stock.
Now, number 5, the option chain. We were just discussing this the other day on how if there was no options, everybody be just buying raw stock. You would drive this thing to the moon. So when they take, we'll just say half the people go to options and then half buy puts, half buy calls. That actually eliminates all of that money in theory. They neutralize.
You're breaking up, buddy. Bear with us, technical difficulties.
Each other out where there's no, yeah. So he's right about that one. A lot of people aren't using options right. I mean, we have a theory on what would be better than buying, and we're probably going to bring that out here this weekend. We're going to probably end up this, but we do have a theory of different things that would probably be better, and we're going to be crunching that behind the scenes before we bring it out. So definitely be waiting for that. So so far, I'm not saying it's not going to squeeze. I don't believe it's going to squeeze even with all these problems, because eventually this is going to burn a hole in their pocket and they're going to have to let go of it. So,
and I'd like to add to that. It's not only that, right? They want all of us, the citizens of the United States, mostly us, right? They want us to believe that we have a free market system, right?
yeah.
And if it doesn't squeeze, that tarnishes their free market system that they want you to believe in. I mean, that's just the truth. So there's also that. I don't disagree that we're not in a great spot with everything going on, but so I don't know.
So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we haven't got to the part where he just flips out and says it's not going to squeeze, but it looks like he has, in his mind, valid reasons why he thinks it's not going to squeeze. And he even says, I'm still holding my shares. So he still has them to play, and he's still holding it. So it doesn't mean he gave up and sold out and called it quits and all these weird things that I've heard so far. So I hear a frustrated man is what I hear. And like I said, logical, realistic issues that he thinks is the problem. And again, I'm letting him. That's only 3 minutes and 10 seconds in. Let's keep going.
Another stock. Ticker symbol SBFM, Sunshine Biopharmaceuticals Incorporated, whatever the fuck it is at this point. I was turned on to it by one of my followers, Dennis Cap Jr. He told me to take a look at it. I've been watching it every day since. Listen, folks, that is the stock that the apes should have banded together and bought up. Or that's the type of stock, if you want a short squeeze and you really want to expose the stock market corruption to its fullest, that's the stock. All right, Johnwicksnipin, why is that the stock?
Well, let's look into that one real quick, because I don't know what he's talking about.
What's the ticker?
SFB. I mean, every play that's short is a play.
SFBM?
Yeah, well, maybe I got it wrong. Let me go back and pull it back up. SBFM.
Okay, SBFM. Cam's saying he didn't get a link or something.
He had a link. Tiny little company, 32 million. I mean, now we're going to go into his details and stuff because I don't have the short interest and stuff on that. But holy crap. This is that one that's been split like a whole bunch of times.
Well, there's a huge gap up and it's in a pullback now.
Yeah. So, I mean,
It's going to fill that gap.
It was worth a lot of money at one point because of reverse splits. Currently, I mean, it's tiny compared to what it used to be priced at. But like I said, reverse splits, you can see right here, short attacking is going on heavily short term. So it's very obvious that they were being attacked. But only
and that's with no DD.
Yeah,
I just
no
want
DD.
to be clear. That's just charting.
Let's see what he has to say about it. Yeah, find the right spot. There we go.
And bought up. Or that's the type of stock, if you want a short squeeze and you really want to expose the stock market corruption to its fullest, that's the stock. All right, Johnwicksnipin, why is that the stock? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you. Number one, the fucking stock has a 7 million share float.
Okay, that does make a little bit of a difference because that's almost 11 times, like almost 10 times shorted over the float from what I was reading. So let's see what he has for a number.
Okay, it's real easy to get us all together and buy up the shares of that company, virtually squeezing the fucking hedgies out. They have no chance in this stock. Reason number two, there's no options chain. I repeat, no options chain for you to fucking manipulate it. Reason number three, it's a cheap stock. It is now trading somewhere under $5. And for the middle and lower class, that's an easy one to buy up.
We actually need the short interest numbers, but there is clearly short damage done to the stock. Pretty large amount since it only has 7 million float. I mean, it's kind of right, but I mean,
the thing is too, and I don't disagree with what he's saying here, right? But what I'm going to say is we've already said no options. You only have the availability to buy the stock. That does help the situation, right?
Yeah.
But they can still do some of what they're doing behind the scenes a little bit. They're going to play their games. The second problem is you can't come out and say shit like that. That's collusion. You know what I mean? So you can say stuff, but you have to. I don't know. That's
well, if it gets brought up in a different form, if there's like, okay, 60% short, 7 million float, it's a play because XYZ. All you gotta do is give details on it. If people say, okay, that we agree that it's a good play, jump on it. It's not collusion. What he's saying here may be borderline, but I mean, I get it. Let's see what else he's got left to say.
Oh, and by the way, all they're trying to do is cure cancer. No big deal, right?
Oh, that's the one that's curing cancer?
We'll see.
I think I heard about this.
It's got a reason for people to buy into it.
Yeah.
Not a big deal, because I'm probably going to guess that almost every family has had someone at some point in the family's existence has lost somebody to cancer. Okay, so what better stock to invest in than a company that's actually trying to cure cancer. So if you guys are going to come after me about, oh, he's pitching another stock that's not AMC, I don't own any of those shares, and I'm not pitching it, but for God's sakes, at least they're trying to cure cancer. Now, remember when I told you guys, I was like, man,
that's a legit reason to own the stock, but you got to look at the fundamentals and more about it.
Yeah.
See if they're actually curing cancer, if they actually have stages under testing, stuff like that. Because if you throw money at a stock that doesn't have anything really going, no success, no patents, like there's a lot to look into before you, like, you know, see if there's any establishment behind it. I mean, but it's wrote down so we can do DD on it and check into it.
Really wish that my channel was in like the at least higher than anybody that talks about AMC, which is, I think, Trey at this point, he's at 500, 600, 700,000 subs. But if I had that sub count, I'd have the balls to say, yo, you follow me? You down with what the fuck I'm talking about? Let's buy up this fucking stock right here. 7 million share float, no options chain, and the stock is cheap. We can fucking buy it up right now. And let's see what they do at that point. How are you going to cheat that stock? We lock that up, and that would be obvious that we lock it up. There's only 7 million shares. There's what currently or supposedly in AMC right now? 10 million of us or more at this point. So you would only need almost...
Can't believe Lou numbers.
Yeah,
Lou
but
put up the 10 million shareholder number. And
time out. Before we go any further, I just want to say this. This is the problem, and he's talking on emotion, and I get it, okay? He's emotionally upset that it hasn't squeezed. And I'll tell you how I know he's emotionally upset. Because in the beginning of the video, he says, we don't own 517 million shares. He doesn't believe that we own 90% of the float. But then he just said that 10 million people own it. Do the math. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And I'm not picking on the guy. I understand. So he's emotionally upset. I'm not going to bash the guy. A lot of his information is true. You know what I mean? But you got to look at the bigger picture. You know? I mean, he can say, I think everybody should look into this stock. He's made a valid point there, but I don't know. Just my thoughts.
well, there is a problem with misinformation floating around on a lot of stuff. Do we have 10 million shareholders? I mean, Lou blurted it out, and like he's thinking that might be reality. And whether it is or not, I don't know. Last I knew, we had like 4 to 4.5 million shareholders, and who knows what we're at now. But that's the thing, when you hear misinformation and it gets locked in your head and you don't take it with a grain of salt, it can rot you out from the inside, and that's what looks like it's happening here.
Almost half. It's not gonna buy one share. That's if you only bought one share. But let's just assume everybody bought, like, I don't know, 100 shares. You'd buy up that float immediately. Then I would love to see, how can you sell more shares of that stock? How are you not letting that stock squeeze? That's the perfect example to really find out the corruption in the stock market. Not AMC and their 517 million share float. I'm sorry, guys. This stock is not going to squeeze. I will not sell it, but I'm going to tell you a couple reasons why I won't sell AMC. Number one, I'm not taking the loss. Number two, it is my reminder and my fuck you to the stock market because of all the manipulation and corruption that's in the stock market. So I will not sell it. But there's just so many things that are against AMC right now that it won't squeeze. Not to mention, you've got everybody now panicking at this point. At the next run up, they're probably looking for the first door out. If this thing goes back up into the 30s like that, they'll be looking, oh shit, they're gonna halt it, drop it down. I'm not waiting another however long it takes for them to drive it back up. I've had enough, I'm out. So I would love to grow my channel so that we can target some real short squeeze plays. At the bare minimum, AMC at least has taught novice investors like myself that are looking to play squeeze plays, okay, has taught us a lot. AMC has definitely taught us a lot about squeeze plays. I'm not interested in technical analysis and fundamentals of other companies. I'm looking for short squeeze plays, plain and simple. So please don't waste your time. The smarty guys that are, I guess, trillionaires giving investment advice on comment boards, you know, that are not have no interest in the stock. Please, I don't need your advice. I am looking to play stocks that have high short interest, low floats, no options chain, and are valued under probably $5-6 that I can afford to buy, or that a large community of middle lower class can buy. So guys, please digest this information today. I'm going to give you some Dixie time, but that's what I've got for you today. I repeat my prediction, and I can make this prediction because I am an AMC owner, so I'm hedged on this statement. AMC will not squeeze.
Well, see, here's the problem. If all that manipulation and everything will stop this stock, it will stop the same exact little one that he's looking at.
Exactly.
So the problem is we, instead of looking for a new stock to go and try to squeeze, we should look at who's stopping it from squeezing. There's so many entities involved that are manipulating the market, that aren't doing their job, that are, allowing this to go on. We should be pointing at each and every single place and targeting them because they're the problem. And I mean, obviously, SEC, DTCC, the market maker, the brokers, like, we need a list of all the players involved that have caused this problem, and we need to do something about it. And that's just it. Like, there should be a way to make demands, boycott, something, one way or another. We need to actually target the problem and call it out for what it is. A new squeeze play ain't going to do it because they're going to do the same tactics to that to keep it from squeezing. So what's going to happen? You buy the float 10 times over, same exact thing. Who do you turn it to that's going to go investigate the SEC? They're going to do the same thing, stand down. The market maker, they're going to FTD the thing into an oblivion. Who's going to stop it? Nobody. Brokers are going to sell you shares that they don't even own. Who's going to stop it? Nobody, because the whole system is rigged. Now we got to figure out who we go to get this stuff changed. Somebody has to be able to fix this problem. Nobody has came up with an answer on where we start. So if we could figure out how to make a change in the SEC, make a change with the market maker, make a change with the brokers, that's what we should be doing. And instead of just running from one play to the next. So
now, I just want to say this. When we started this video, before we even started playing Johnwicksnipin's video here, I apologize to everybody who was listening to that last show because I misspoke and I put out bad information and I apologize for it. So I have a problem when people do things like that. But I would just want to say, if and he said it in his video, he just said it, that he doesn't believe in technical analysis and all that he only wants to be in squeeze plays, this, that, and the other thing. And to me, that's gambling. Okay.
yeah.
And I try not to gamble, and I'm not calling him out in any way, but I use technical analysis. This is part of the reason why I came out and started saying I want to help people, period. To learn some technical analysis, because you can kind of see what's going on with technical analysis. That's just the truth. And people who don't believe in it are just gambling. I'll just say that. And they could get mad at me for saying it, but that's what I think. Doing your DD, part of doing your due diligence is being able to read a chart, in my opinion. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah, let's go ahead and cover it. I think he's about done.
Actually, before I turn it over to Dixie, I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about what I've been watching on this SBFM. So basically, they came out with news that their tests reveal that they are able to basically cure cancer. And they're going to be filing for a patent and so on and so forth. You guys can do your DD. They actually had an article today in USA Today introducing the company and what they're working on. USA Today, to me, is a reputable platform in terms of information. But what I've been watching is this stock was running crazy after that news last week, and all of a sudden, I guess definitely has to be the hedge funds that are in cahoots with some of these other platforms that put negative articles out on companies that they want to drop put out a bullshit article on Benzinga talking about a share offering, and that was not the case. That was a lie. You can do your DD on that and check out what I'm saying. But Benzinga came out with an article that basically said they were offering new shares, and that was incorrect. The filing was based on an old and closed share offering back in March. That's already been completed. I think maybe there was like an amendment to the filing or whatever, but Benzinga decided to use that to put out an article and fucking tank the stock down by half. So in pre-market, and I've told you this in other videos, in pre-market it hit up to 12. By the end of that day, it was under 6. It was like at 571, and it's been trying to recover since. Now, yesterday, it had a ridiculous short squeeze around noon. So basically, what's going on in the stock market is they are throttling the volume. They did it again today. If you notice, the volume across the board was really low. So what they're doing is, or what it looks like they're doing is, they're trickling in sell orders to tick it down. And then somewhere along the day, maybe the middle of the day, they're opening it up. But it's so out of control, the buy pressure in a lot of these stocks, even AMC, that once they open it up, that's when you see like this ridiculous run up in price, and then they throttle it back down again. So they did it in this stock yesterday. Obviously they're doing it across the board. SBFM, they were the faucet was dripping. All of a sudden in noon, they opened it up, and the stock had like a 30 or 40% reversal from red to green. It ran up to just under $6 from like $4, almost $4 even, somewhere around like maybe $4.05, $4.10, and it ran up to almost $6. So that's the violent swings that this stock can take, and that's why I pointed it out in a short that I did yesterday about how an AMC squeeze, if it ever happened, would look. It would be these violent swings up, and then obviously violent swings down. But that's the manipulation that I saw in that particular stock with the article. But they're stuck in that one. There's no way out of that one. There's no options to manipulate, and the float is so low and the price is so low that they're going to pay in that one. So take a look at it, guys. I know this is a long video. I apologize, but it's good information, and I want you guys to really consider it. I would love for my channel to be to grow, and then we could all put our heads together and study some of these stocks that have low floats, no options, and are priced somewhere under $5, $6 that we can just attack. And like I said, get ourselves into some good trouble. If anybody ever calls us out saying that we're colluding, cool, we're colluding, but now let's talk about everything now. We're going to have to get ourselves into good trouble. And I don't have a problem colluding on YouTube about buying up a stock, because if you got a problem or the powers that be have a problem, come on over. Let's sit down. Let's talk about what you did in this AMC situation. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. I'm going to turn it over to Dixie. All right, Dixie, if you liked...
Well, he's kind of got a point. Why does collusion matter when manipulation doesn't? So, I mean...
My question is, though, why does he think it only happens in AMC when it's happening market-wide?
It's market-wide. Yeah, he's probably not safe over there. He just doesn't know yet. The problem
exactly.
the problem about a company finding a patent for a cure for cancer, all they're going to do, it's $25 million market float. And let me pull this up here so you can actually see it. So they figure out where it's hiding. So right here is the market float on it. The market cap. It's $32 million. Tiny little company. So all they have to do is short this thing down as cheap as they can, and some big, like, pharma giant like Pfizer will come in and scoop it up for a nickel. Then they're going to turn around and buy that. They're going to get the patent and everything. This company did all the footwork to get this patent, and a company like Pfizer can come in and aggressively buy it out and then put it back on the market for, 10, 20 billion extra dollars a year and make a killing. So that's all they're going to do, is they're going to, just like they've done to PROG and other ones too. And so the problem isn't finding another squeeze play. If we want to fix this market, we got to figure out who's not doing their job. And we know who it is. We know the SEC is not doing her job. It's been obvious. Gary Gensler pretty much laughed when he said that, he needs coffee money. I mean, basically, isn't that asking for pay to play?
I mean, the whole world is corrupt. We all know this, right? And it's corrupted every aspect of our country, okay? Our stock market, our government, all of it. It's all corrupt. The big pharma's corrupt, all of it. So I do agree with him in that way that the corruption is crazy, but the point is it's not going to be no different over there. It doesn't matter what equity you're in. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. He made some valid points, but I still believe that it's going to squeeze, because the reason why I think it'll squeeze, mainly because they don't want to tarnish their piggy bank. They want to kick the can down the road. They want to do the same old. What's that term that they say in government there? When they don't want to change nothing, the status quo. They don't want to change the status quo, right? So with that said, of course, they're going to have no choice but to pay out, I believe, right? I don't know how much. I'm sure it's going to be manipulated, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens. But that's pretty much what I think. And my TA tells me that. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate he's feeling some type of way where he made a video and came out on it. But like, all those are valid points of things that we've all already have kind of said, minus the different squeeze play stock kind of thing. So, I mean, we all know market manipulation is a problem. It would be nice that if it was taken care of. So we were just discussing how the option chains are actually hurting things, because all these out the money calls, they're doing no benefit for the stock movement. So then the idea of buying puts, that doesn't help put upward pressure on stuff. I mean, that doesn't really make any logical sense on how buying a put could do so. But if you bought deeper into money calls instead of out the money calls, you can actually force delta hedging, which in theory would give you upward pressure, and you would lose less on theta.
It'll cost you more. You'll have less, momentum, because it's going to cost you more to do so, but you're going to make a dent in what actually is going on.
Yeah, instead of losing 25, 50, or 75% of your premium, or if not all of it if you're outside the money, when you're inside the money, you still get a premium payback because you're still in the money. So as long as you stay in the money, you only pay theta plus the stock price difference. So when it goes down, you won't lose very much. When it goes up, you're going to gain a whole bunch. So it's, in my opinion, I think it's more of a win-win as a safe haven. Plus, you get direct upward pressure on the stock. Now, we're going to be covering that this weekend, so we can get more into depth on it, because I want to go through all the levels on it. But theta decay usually destroys options. A lot of people that have played calls have been blown up because they're out the money. Being in the money, I mean, $25 a week for theta, maybe a little bit more, is not bad. So compared to an out the money call.
So Randall asked us about the ISDA at all, but I thought that him and Boss Blunt were going to come on and talk about that.
For what?
The ISDA banks.
Oh, I want to try to get Bigums on here to talk about ISDA banks and credit unions and stuff like that. Boss Blunt probably knows about that stuff too, but I know Bigums is dug in deep.
Yeah, because Randall Cornett just asked that question, and he's part of them too, I think, isn't he?
Yep, the same group. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, he came out and it. A lot of people took it the wrong way. I get it. Like, I'm not going to sit there and bash him because he's upset over the play. I mean, a lot of people were upset. I mean,
I think it was emotions. I have to agree. I mean, I don't agree with him saying that and getting all kind of way, because he doesn't think that, But he's entitled to his opinion, right? We all are, but I don't know. I just have a different opinion.
Well, if he wants to play another play, I'm going to wish him luck, and I hope him, the best. I mean, it doesn't sound like he's feeling very good about his plays as it is. So, I mean, that's all I can do is wish him the best, and that's pretty much it.
And I don't know the guy personally, so I don't really want to say anything. But if he, I don't know if he knows charting or whatever, but I would start with TA, I mean, I don't know how long he's been in the play either. It sounds like he's a bag holder, but I mean, and I'm not picking on anybody who's holding a bag, because to those people who are holding a bag, just know that I'm holding my shares. I still got them. And I'm not holding a bag.
Yeah, Sam has a good point here. He says, don't you find it odd several AMC YouTubers said they're done buying AMC? Yeah, within the last week, I've heard a lot of people saying they're either done buying or they're getting rid of AMC. It could just be timing. It could be frustration. I don't know, but he's kind of right. There's a lot of oddities that keep popping up.
I mean, I know what I got, so I'm not selling. That's just whatever.
One way or another, as long as nobody leaves, the shorts can't leave. They have to buy their way out.
They're trapped, exactly.
So eventually it has to squeeze. There's nothing they can do about it. Is that the real Randall Cornett?
Yes, that's what I was telling you.
Oh, wow. Hey, you guys looked at ISTA. That's one thing I want to get into. I don't know enough about ISTA to even bring it up as a topic, but I know, Randall Cornett, Bigham's, I mean, that group of guys there, I would love to have them come on. I could broadcast for everybody so you guys can sit at your channel and bring your information forward if you guys are interested. So just let me know.
And it streams to your channel.
Yeah, I definitely want to learn more about ISTA and all that stuff, because those guys have been digging deep on stuff. I never heard of ISTA, but I understand how it works now from Bigham's videos.
I'm not sure I'm interested, though. I want to see your guys' presentation, to be real.
Yeah, here's Rob. I do like Rob's input all the time. He says, I don't have the energy to explain how much options has hurt this play. Yeah, I totally feel you there. The out the money calls have been blowing things up.
Yeah. No, I agree that options hurt the play, and then they turn around and they add other strike prices on top of it to hurt it even more, So they can always add an option chain on the stock too. That's the other side, the other downside, right? They will do that to protect themselves, I'm not sure.
Randall Cornett, I'll send you a message and we'll see if we can work something out about getting a get together like this weekend or something if you guys want to, and we could just do a massive broadcasting, and you guys can bring out your DD and stuff on everything. Get as many people together as possible and just do one great big, show. See how it works. Yeah. The term YouTubers is it feels like a way that they're bashing us, but we're more of the new mainstream media. So we got to try to at least keep our information kind of, more fact-based. And the ISTA stuff, I mean, I think that's something that hardly anybody knows anything about. So, yep, we're trying to inform the family. We definitely need to stand united and keep bringing out the good information for people.
Grab Carlos's comment when it comes up.
All right, working my way down there. Yeah, I've been thinking about this for a minute. Was trying to work with you guys over there because I know that your whole group has a ton of information, and it needs more outreach. So if there's anything I can do, I would definitely want to help.
Yes, same. I've seen that Boss Blunt show with Froggy. That was excellent.
Amazing.
That was a great show you guys had.
So much good information there. Well, yeah, ISTA might not be like all special and sparkly. It can probably seem boring, I guess, but it's interesting at the fact that this is what really goes on in the real world. We don't see this. We don't. I don't know. It's when you put your money in the bank, you trust it to be there. I know the money is not there, but I never figured out where it was going. I just figured they were investing it. I didn't know they were gambling it. It's basically kind of what those ISTA contracts are, is just great big bets so they can get your money out of the bank and put it somewhere. Oh yeah, I believe I think the ISTA contracts is going to be the reason why all the banks fail, because that money cannot be returned. It's probably not there. If there ever was a second money system and everybody converted over to it, the banks wouldn't be able to pay out everybody's money. Not even close.
This is the second question, but that's okay. Basically the same question. So the problem is we can't get a dividend right now, but I think they're trying to work on that. But if we did get a dividend, options plays are you take on dividend risk if you play options, right? So if a stock has dividends, that's number one. There's dividend risk involved with options. And number two is all the FTDs are basically shares, I believe, in my opinion. So those would all have to be paid a dividend. So if there's more than, they would also do a share recount because of a dividend. They want to know how many for tax purposes, right? Because well, what the hell's the name of it now? What do you call the treasury? No, not the, what the heck? The government where the IRS. There you go. Jesus. See, guys, it happens. I apologize. Yeah, the IRS wants their money, believe me. So they're not going to let that slide. They want to know how many shares as well. That's why dividends are going to work out. Thank you.
Yeah, the dividends are important to keep the shorts out of the stock. And since we don't really have dividends, we can't protect ourselves against this kind of stuff. So, I mean, we're kind of at the mercy of waiting for AMC to clear its debt or its obligations to keep it from posting a dividend, so then it can be protected by other legal obligations. And we just haven't got that far yet. Yeah, Randall Cornett says, basically, our money is being used against us as fast as you deposit it.
I believe that.
I mean, they take it right out. They don't have it there no more. I don't know where it all goes, but then they just give out digits and say we got it, and they don't have your money. 90% of your money that you deposit is gone, like right now, gone. So where is it? I have no idea. But those ISTA contracts kind of make a little bit more sense where they put them. Somebody's holding that cash. John is Lou 2.0, spreading FUD, promoting another stock, wanting to grow his channel at the cost of apes, and talking about collusion. Are you kidding me? Everyone thought Burry was crazy. Patience, people. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You can kind of see the frustration. I feel bad for him because, like, he's not the only one that's lost money in the play. I'm assuming he lost money or he wouldn't be upset. But I mean, I thought it was way worse than from hearing about it. The video wasn't as bad as I was expecting. I was expecting a full meltdown and, a temper tantrum. There was none of that. So, I mean, the promoting of another stock, it's not going to help anything. The play will still remain the same. Even if like $1 trillion went into that little tiny $25 million stock, they'll just make you shares. I mean, they don't have to give you real shares. I mean, that's the thing. They can just take your money, back it up with your money, drive the price down, and keep your money. It's like
you got a digit in your account, right? That's all they care about.
The digit. The one thing we were looking at the other day was, is there any brokers out there that have crypto wallets? So when you go and sell your stock and you make your money, you can buy into crypto and exit out like immediately? None. Why? Because they don't want to give back your money.
It's true.
So
he's not wrong when he says it's corrupt. I do agree with Johnwicksnipin on that. It is very, very corrupt. But I disagree that it won't squeeze. I think it will.
Yeah, the good thing about this play is it's a global squeeze play. That's what makes it amazing. Global squeeze play. Once we get from 10 billion to 50 billion, once we get to that point, the problem is on the market maker and the hedge fund side. They don't like stocks that are that big. So they've been holding us down so we can't get up there because it makes it a nightmare for them. So that's why they pick on little, like, small cap stocks, because they can afford those. Why don't they do that to Tesla? Way too big. They tried, they failed. Because once Tesla crossed that 50 billion, they went to the races. Well, I wanted to make sure we covered that while it was still kind of hot, because I didn't know I seen a lot of messages pop up about it, and I figured we'd address it and try to make some headway of it. We might not be right. I mean, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't like the fact that he's saying it's not going to squeeze. I mean, obviously, eventually it will. There's nothing they can do about it.
All I got to say is I don't personally know the guy. And this was the first time I seen the video, but to me, it looks like he was speaking on emotion. So I don't know. You got to kind of, I don't like what he said, but a lot of the stuff that he did say was true. And I'll just leave it at that. I disagree with him on it not being able to squeeze. I think it has the ability to, so I'll just leave it at that.
So, thinking hypothetically, if this doesn't squeeze by the end of Joe Biden's presidency, we'll say we get a new president that says, hey, look, we're tired of the market manipulation too. We're actually going to put someone in that's going to do their job. So Gary Gensler gets fired. Some new person goes in there and says, look, I'm tired of this crap. They go in and start enforcing rules. Well, guess what? Squeeze is coming. So I'm not saying we got to wait that long. I'm just saying, who's the next president? Because that's who picked Gary Gensler to go in there and not enforce anything. So what's going to happen? Eventually, there'll be a change of the guard. So just keep holding. Have faith. Everything works out the way it's supposed to.
And I would say on top of that, I mean, we got a midterm election coming up. I think it's both sides of the aisle. Just go over to Unusual Whales website and go look at all of Congress and how much each congressperson made.
Yeah,
above and beyond what this S&P 500 made last year, and then think for yourself, like, are they really going to change anything?
no.
What can we do to make it happen?
Yeah, they're all doing insider trading. Why would they go and change anything to go and take away their easy money? So, also when the regulators are actually running the game and they're making money off the game, why would they want to change it? They're not going to put rules into place to stop themselves.
Exactly.
So they're skimming off the top and they know it. And they all should be ashamed for it. But
so we should demand that from our next Congress, the next people who are running. We should be demanding them, to no insider trading, to uphold the law, the land, basically. They got laws against insider trading. They just don't follow them.
Yeah, here we go. We got Randall Cornett says, I believe in all of us and our DD, our research. I'm here until the wheels fall off. Exactly. That's it.
Randall.
My stock account is my retirement. Like, I'm staying there until the play is completely squeezed. So, because that's how confident I am in the play. It would make 0 sense that it doesn't squeeze. There's no way for them to get out. I keep hearing this thing, they'll drive it down and cover. Where are they getting 130 million shares of self-reported data? That's all they want you to know about. They don't want you to know the back end.
I got a question to ask everybody, and I want you to really logically think about this. If the stock price got to $10, just saying, and I don't think it's getting there. Let me be real with you. I don't see it. Some people think it can. Believe me, I've been waiting. I don't think so. All right. But if it got to $10, I want you to think about what would you do if it made it to $10?
Buy more.
And I would encourage anybody, if you're in at 40 or 30, not financial advice, but there is a thing called averaging down, right? So I don't know what your price is, but if you had, say, 100 shares at $60 and you bought 100 shares at $20, that's going to drop your position in half from that 60, right? You just got to think about that. If you bought more than that, it would drop more than half. But that it's called averaging down. And I'm not telling anybody what to do with their money. It's your money. You do what you want. I'm just trying to pass on information that could possibly help those people who are holding the bag.
Now, Randall Cornett has a good point here. Always supporting anyone putting in effort. So anybody out there that's putting in effort for this stock, AMC, should always be respected and appreciated, whether you agree with them, like them, or not, because they're on your side. So always remember that. There's so many different groups out there, but we all have the same plans. We should be working together, stand united. And that's what I pretty much preach.
People make mistakes. I made a mistake earlier. I admitted it right before the show. I made a mistake because it happens, right? You're on live, you're doing stuff. I'm talking behind the scenes with somebody, and you're just not paying attention. It happens, right? And I'm not, you get emotional. We're human beings as well. And I'm not sticking up for John Wick. I don't really know the guy, but I think he was talking on emotion. Just what I think.
Yeah. Now, if the price did for some reason go down to $10, you'd catch me on OnlyFans trying to get more money for. I mean, you already know.
OnlyFans, baby.
I'd open up 2 of them. No. Don't you think that the shorts are screwed from GME, and when it goes, AMC will run? Just my thoughts. I think GME is going to end up hurting them with that split and that dividend. And it only takes one domino, I think, in order to start breaking things up. They couldn't afford GME before, and they're going to have to deal with GME this time. So that could be the catalyst, and I really hope that's what it is. It might not make it to the end of the year.
Grab Luis Fernandez's comment, because it is a true statement.
Oh, I'm getting down there.
That's kind of what I've been trying to get across to people as well.
Who is it?
Luis Fernandez.
I didn't know I was that far back.
Yeah, he's it's pretty recent. It's still on my screen.
Oh, I don't see it. You're gonna have to read it.
That's gone now.
It was backwards.
We'll find it. I kind of know what it was about. I'll bring it up in a minute. Unless you want me to do it now.
No.
All right. So basically, what Luis Fernandez was saying is he uses the 1348, and that it's helping apes to trade, right? It's helping apes to learn to trade, and I agree. And there's a lot of channels out there promoting that. I happen to be one of them. I think it works, and I think it works well. And I think that it can help teach people charting so they know what they're looking at, right? I personally would rather show people how to chart than the 1348. That's just because I don't give financial advice. That's just what I do. But no, I agree with him that the 1348 works. And you should look into it if you don't know anything about TA or anything like that. It's a good thing.
Luis Fernandez says, if you want unity in the community, that's even more reason to demand Adam Aaron a 1 cent AMC special dividend. I think that makes a big difference. I think it does, because it does, from what I understand, create a share count, and it in my opinion, it should be demanded. I mean, but he's been pushing it off for some reason. I don't get why. I mean, I understand his reasoning, but he knows why we want it.
So the 1348, just so anybody out there doesn't know, because somebody just asked a question, it works on the 1 hour chart. It works on any time frame based on your whatever you're trading. If you're trading options, you got to plan ahead. You can't just buy a 1 day option and try to play it on an hour chart. It ain't going to work, right? But it works on crypto, works on everything, every time frame.
Now, Jay Beep says I'm still on chat or yesterday's chat. Not sure what that means. Am I still logged in somewhere that I shouldn't be? I thought I deleted every one of my links that were not running. I think that's everything here. Oh, here it is. Randall Cornett says he can't do it until the company is profitable. In my opinion, it doesn't matter how much cash he has in the bank. Adam Aaron did say that he was trying to loosen up those debt covenants, and I was kind of hoping he was able to get them all worked in. I don't know if he did. Haven't heard nothing back, but that would have been nice that he got that done.
I'd love a dividend from AMC, to be honest with you.
Half
100%.
a penny. Give it to me. I would just love that share count.
Yep.
Thank you guys for what you do to help the overall family. Brave family, we got this. Together we stand. The rest. Peace. Yeah, definitely together we stand. We got to stay together. So keep that good information coming. And like I said, I'm going to get a hold of Randall Cornett here and see if we can get something worked out for everybody here. And we'll try to do like a massive broadcasting or something and get tons of information out there for everybody. So
I would just say, don't take one person's word for it. If somebody said something, go around and find out what others are saying, right? Just make sure the information that you're getting is 100% or, or close to is, I wouldn't just take somebody's word for it.
Rob here says the problem with the 1348 strategy is 95% of the community doesn't understand options and are basically gambling in a casino.
You don't need to just play options.
Huh?
You don't need to just play options. You could play stocks. It works for that too.
Yep. He says
I do agree with you about the options thing. I'm just saying if you don't, but you can't day trade, you'll have to follow pattern day trade rules, but you can trade stocks with it for sure.
Well, I think that wraps everything up there. I do want to make a special announcement. I do got Charlie's vids coming on tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. It has been confirmed. I'm going to go and promote that up there, and we'll get to go and check him out. It's an interview, so make sure you guys don't miss out. You want to say your piece, Mediocre Trader? Oh,
yeah, I was reading the comment. Sorry. I appreciate all you for coming in and watching the show. I mean, no disrespect to Johnwicksnipin. I solely disagree with his statement that it can't squeeze, but other than that, he did have a lot of information in there that was correct, but I appreciate all the mods, and I appreciate Froggy for having me on, and thank you guys. We'll see you again soon.
And there's my information down below. Yeah, I just wanted to cover this just to, try to clear the air. I didn't really know what was going on, to be honest. I pulled it up kind of more shocked that he felt some type of way. I thought he was more like stronger than that, but this play is shaking some people, and it looks like it got to him. So it's unfortunate. I hope him the best. If that's what he's doing, he's going to go and play another stock, but he did say he's still holding his shares, and that, in my opinion, means he still kind of believes. So I'll take it for whatever it is. I mean, I'm still holding mine. That doesn't change anything. And yeah, I just want to review that video and try to see if I can calm people down. They seem pretty angry, and
Yeah, they do.
Hopefully that lets you feel better about the situation. Obviously, the squeeze play is still there. Nothing's been covered. They can delay as much as they want. It's not over.
And I'll say this: one person's view or what one person does isn't going to affect the squeeze. So if he does get rid of his shares or whatever, it's not going to affect the squeeze. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I wouldn't, take it with a grain of salt. That's all I can tell you guys. Have a good night. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming, and check out my new intro. I'm going to put it back up here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.